It's a big deal because it's a reset of cycles. We could say reset of countries, reset of finances, reset of Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. It happens February 20th, 2026, and possible effects on different countries. Now, we have not witnessed and experienced this Saturn Neptune at 0 Aries in thousands and thousands of years, so I feel that no one really knows what exactly is going to happen. United States. So United States, this is in Saturn Neptune conjunct in Aries in the 5th house, and they're squaring to natal Venus in Cancer in the 8th house. So this is happening in the 5th house. This has to do with the expression of the United States, the cultural expression, but it also has to do with risk-taking, trading, and I want to say gambling, but not gambling in the sense I'm going to a casino, but gambling in the sense that bubbles bursting, people taking risks on the country itself, and these risks have come to a point where some of them burst. So it's a creative cultural reset. Shifts in entertainment, media, youth cultural, national expression will be changed. How the culture is now, how the creativity, entertainment is dissolved. There's a lot to be said about that because there's a lot of things going on now in the world, especially within the entertainment industry. A lot of things have come out about it, how it's not as wonderful as people say. A lot of things, corrupt things happen in the background within the entertainment industry that could be coming out more. And I know that's not just in the United States, that is a worldwide thing, but for the United States, it could be coming out more, and that could be creating the shift in the entertainment. Restructuring of education, childcare, general issues highlighted could be the debt of this country. Really focusing on, okay, we're passing on the debt to our children, trying to possibly fix that, trying to get a hold of that. Education, I feel, it will be restructuring, and it definitely needs to, I won't get into it much, but the education just needs to be restructured for all children, because the way it's done, I feel that it's not beneficial for all children, no matter where they are, who they are. That will be changing, which I think will be a very, very good thing. Reality check on risk-taking. So speculative markets, investments, financial markets, corruption exposed over risk-taking causes markets to reveal their true colors. This is why I said the bubble bursting. We have, what are they called? They're not securities. It's when it's when there's debt that is taken and that is traded. They trade the debt. That could be something that's coming out into the light. Bubbles bursting with that. Financial issues due to the risks and the gambles that have been taken within our financial markets could be coming out. The corruption could be exposed, could be bursting, especially on the speculative markets. I would say, though, we've seen the price of gold and silver rising higher. I could say that gold and silver would continue to keep rising. New morale, dissolving old narratives, birthing new country or storyline, history exposed, corruption exposed. And Saturn Neptune will square natal Venus in Cancer. This is why I also feel that bubbles bursting within the financial markets of the United States could be occurring, because Venus is in Cancer. It's in the 8th house. Venus does rule over values. Financial strains, conflicts involving the shared resources, the debt that goes along with the derivatives, and national financial security could be strained. Diplomatic tensions, partnerships could be emotionally charged and unstable. Disagreements about money, protection, support, and national priorities will come into play. And I feel that they already are doing that, but more so. Public sensitivity around financial reform and crisis. this could be a time when the markets, the United States markets, the stock markets, have some turmoil in them, especially if things are revealed about different derivative markets and other bubbles that could burst, or corruption that is exposed around finances of the United States. But the public sensitivity and the emotions will also dictate the direction of how different markets go. And that's something that will also affect people on a worldwide basis as well. Okay, so Iran, their date of birth is December 3rd, 1979 in Tehran. This is when their latest constitution was put into place. This is in the 8th house, Saturn, Neptune sextile. Saturn, Neptune conjunct in Aries in the 8th house. Finances, power, restructuring of finances. Again, this is not personal finances. This is more large institutional finances. That's what it is. And Saturn, Neptune will sextile the natal moon in Taurus. Very positive, actually, for Iran. So financial and resources transformation. Similar to China, where the restructuring of national funds, tax, debt, hidden economic systems, corruption could be revealed within the financial system, exposure of secrets, covert operations, and concealed power dynamics could surface. Crisis-driven reform, pressure to change survival strategies, alliances, and shared resources. Shifts in power structures. Old systems dissolve and new ones slowly form. I know that they recently had the election of a new head of Iran. This could be further amplifying what they're building now. But finances look to be going through a restructuring type of process. And this is sextile to the natal moon. This is very supportive of the people. The people, culture shifting, the communication, the ideologies of the people are shifting and changing, moving from what they used to, how society used to have to be. Perhaps people feel threatened by having to do certain things in a certain way within society, but it's like they're finding freedoms, new freedoms within the country for the people. Citizens could feel grounded despite deep changes, especially if it has to do with the financial system, but they could be seeing this as a positive that they are finally moving forwards with certain ways of how they have been ruled for so long. And beneficial for diplomacy, education, and long-term vision. Now, how the world sees them will likely be changing as well. It's a financial and restructuring and everything will be stressful, but it's as if the people are starting to feel a breath of fresh air. That they feel comfortable. They're free. They feel maybe that they're getting more freedoms, finding their footing in the world, in the global world stage again, not seen as a threat of how they've been seen for quite some time. 2 different countries for different reasons. Mercury will square to natal Neptune. Okay, so because things could be changing economically, there could be some confusion with diplomacy, misinformation in negotiations of international dialogue, government messaging conflicts with national identity. Because they're going to be going through all of these changes, there will likely also be some confusion to other countries, to how other people see them. And it will take some time to pan out, to iron out, to get everything settled. But it's also exposing deep hidden secrets within the country that maybe people believed, maybe people thought they had to live a certain way or deal and do certain things. But it's changing the perception of the homeland, of the country, of the relationships to other countries. And you have Mars squaring to natal Uranus in the 3rd house. Okay, so it could be, again, what I said with it was economic, economic reshift? Okay, restructuring of national funds, debt, taxation, and hidden economics. Okay. Because of this, people could also feel, obviously they're going to feel the disruption if there is an economic reset or shift within the government. And people could protest. People could also be protesting to, they've seen the changes, some changes so far. They could be further protesting to get more of the changes Perhaps the changes are happening slowly and they want them to, now they've seen certain changes happen, they want all the changes maybe to happen at once. So there could be some uprising, challenges, and volatility within this time period going through all of these changes. Even though some people might feel comfortable or like, I'm fine, we're getting these freedoms, we're changing our governments, but people could still want more and they're not satisfied with the pace that it is going. I also have cyber attacks, tech-related conflicts could be also occurring with this, with Mars in Aquarius squaring to Neptune and Scorpio. Cyber attacks could also be something that they're dealing with on a large level. So I have May 14th, 1948, Tel Aviv. Saturn, Neptune in the 7th house, squaring a lot of fortune. A lot of fortune is fated events occurring, fated events that happen and that occur. In the 7th house, this is happening. This is about partnerships, their alliances. Alliances will likely to definitely be changing. They already have been happening and starting, but it could further be happening during this time. During this time, Uranus is also squaring to Mars, natal Mars at 28 degrees in the 11th house of Leo. Sudden disruptions. Okay, let me just, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Isreal, Saturn, Neptune conjunction. Alliance restructuring, shifts in treaties, partnerships, international agreements. Relationships with other nations may dissolve, become unclear before stabilizing. There's been a lot going on with Israel this year in many different ways, and different alliances could start to be pulling away more from Israel, and Israel could be coming also into new partnerships with different countries. Legal and negotiation pressures. So legal, courts, contracts, peace agreements face heavy reevaluation. And we've seen this, that there was the peace agreement, and now it seems to no longer be valid any further. This could continue, and that could also be a reason why that there's changing alliances. A new approach to allies and to enemies, redefining on how Israel engages with both partners and opponents. And Saturn Neptune squaring part of fortune. Again, this is fated events happening in the homeland of Israel. Israel could be facing more people, more countries. They have more opposition from different countries, and as a result of that, they could be facing with attacks possibly from other countries that are disagreeing what they have done in the past, and it's going to affect the home front, obviously. So there could be more conflict with Israel, whether it's within Israel or with Israel with other countries. October 5th, 1988 is when their last constitution was, or most recent constitution was formed. This is in Saturn, Neptune are conjunct in Aries in the 3rd house, communication. The country, the people of the country. Saturn, Neptune are next to Mars, trine the midheaven. Saturn and Neptune right here. Saturn, Neptune right here, next to natal Mars. And it is also trining to the midheaven in Scorpio. Very positive. And this is also squaring to that part of fortune in the 11th house. So while positive, there could be some challenges also with this, possibly for things that have happened in the past that is coming back to, that they have to deal with in order to move forwards. That is in the 11th house. It could be communication with other countries, how the world sees them having to redefine who they are, redefining who they are so people can get past maybe their past actions. So Saturn, Neptune in the 3rd house, next to Mars. This is pretty powerful. Communication, information, major changes in media, messaging, national dialogue for the country, for their country in Brazil. New national narrative, old stories dissolving, new direction beginning for Brazil. And local restructuring of different systems, education, transportation, logistics, public communication undergo reform. So the country itself looks to be really restructuring, reforming, rebuilding itself. Next to Mars. Now this is aggressive communication. Bold messaging, strong national voice, strong national pride. There could be some misinformation and disputes, rising activism, but things could be happening quickly for Brazil. Restructuring, redoing everything in their country, rebuilding their country. Things will likely happen quickly for Brazil. Yeah, education as well looks like to be rebuilt quickly as well. Transportation, information systems, quick moving, quick building. So if something falls apart, dissolves, whatever it is will rebuild very, very quickly. Trining to the midheaven, Saturn, Neptune, strong leadership image. Again, the image of Brazil, I feel, will have more of a stronger global presence. People will be respecting them more. In the part of fortune, the fated events, there could be friction within political groups and social movements within the country itself. Or there could be some things that they've done in the past that is almost, it's coming back, but they must deal with this. It's a fated event that they must deal with in order to also move forward. Something that they just can't avoid of something happening. Mexico. This is our last one. There's other countries that I did want to do, but there's a lot of countries that I just did, so I can always go back and do this again. So if you guys do have other countries you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments. Mexico was formed, the newest constitution, February 5th, 1917. Saturn and Neptune will be conjunct in its 11th house and trine to its natal moon and Neptune, very positive, and square to Pluto and the ascendant. So Saturn, Neptune right here, it is in a trine to its natal moon in the 3rd house in Leo. And Neptune, where's Neptune? And Neptune, because Neptune and Pluto are conjunct in their natal chart. Squaring to Pluto. Saturn, Neptune will be squaring to natal Pluto and the ascendant. Power shifts, power changes. Could be governmental shifts. Some big power changes happening here with Pluto. 11th house has to do with groups, friends, I would say the community, the country, future goals of the country, innovation, freedom, uniqueness, and again, dissolving illusions, restructuring, discipline, karma, paying for things that they've done in the past. This is with all countries. I just didn't say that. Reconstruction of alliances, a reset in international groups, treaties, and collaborations. Shifted social movements, large organizations, political groups, collective causes dissolve or reform. Now, in Mexico, we know that they do have a lot of cartels there. There could be a restructuring of this. They could be perhaps, I don't want to say overthrowing them. That's not what I'm saying, but there could be a move to break them down or not have them be such an influence and such a force within their country. Possibly. Trine to the natal moon in the 3rd house, improved communication with the public, and easier connection to the national mood. This is good. I think this is very positive for the people of Mexico. Stronger cultural expression, media, education, messaging to boost national pride. People being very, not that they're not very proud of their country, but becoming more prideful in their country. Better ability to explain the reforms and the changes. Going through the changes, restructuring with different alliances, people will take to it more. They'll be more open to the changes. And Saturn, Neptune, or trine to Neptune, this is inspirational, artistic. They could be going through an artistic revitalization. I forget what it was called. Back when Leonardo da Vinci and all Michelangelo, the Renaissance, almost like a Renaissance period they could be going through. Saturn, Neptune squaring to Pluto, there could be some financial tensions and struggles over money. Transforming value systems, changing their value systems, old financial patterns breaking before renewal. I think that's going to be a big theme with a lot of countries. And squaring the ascendant, identity could be definitely changing. Communication versus actions may appear inconsistent. Need to redefine Mexico's outward personality, a new public identity emerging. Again, I think that for all countries in general, there will be some challenges, that there will be many challenges occurring, but they're redefining those different parts of their chart, different aspects of the countries. One thing I want to say before I do end, because that is my countries, is that this is something we have never experienced before. What I'm saying right now could happen, but I feel that things could happen on a level and in a way that we are not understanding. We have no words for it. Changing in such a radical shift, in a radical way that just changes everything for everyone in this way that we are not aware of. Big changes. This is going to be a big deal, Saturn, Neptune conjunct. If there's any countries that you would like to see, I will come back and revisit this again, because there's also many other countries out there. Let me know in the comments. Major shifts, major shifts are coming. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and